Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature, and it's Friday, which means we bring to you yet another obscurity in literature. Now, this may not be the most obscure, and you've heard me say that quite often, but that's just because I'm so behind the times when it comes to contemporary comic books. And today we're going to look at Gideon Falls, brought to us by Jeff Lemire, and I can't remember the artist's first name, but I'm going to go cheat. Andreas Sorrentino. And so, yeah, this is a book I had been aware of. I've read some of Lemire's stuff. And it's usually pretty good, more slice of life stuff, but this veers off into territory I did not expect. And I'll be honest, judging from the cover, I thought it was just going to be a typical murder mystery whodunit, something along those lines, and I could not be more wrong. Now, it's a bit of that in this book. And I got to be really careful with this video because there's stuff that I did not know it was in this, and I was like, okay. And once I got started, I could not stop. Now, this is one of those big deluxe books that Image inconsistently likes to put out, and I believe this is the first 16. Yeah, it even says it right there. Collects Gideon Falls. And so, yeah. Upon receiving it and I saw that cover, I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's more to this than just a typical murder mystery. So there is and there isn't, and I don't want to get into too much spoiler territory, but we can at least look at like the first issue. And so you'll see this building is quite important to the story, the Black Barn, and how it relates to Gideon Falls. And I think that's as enough of a nice, succinct summary and how the lives of various people of Gideon Falls are all intertwined. And so, yeah, the layout of this book is absolutely great. Whenever we start to hear mention of the barn itself and the main characters and the issues of psychosis or neuroses or whatever is going on with them, you'll see these sudden shifts in color, which I thought was a really interesting choice. And just the line work in this as things start to get crazy and it gets more and more scratchy and disturbing. And yeah, it gets disturbing. So while it is a bit of a whodunit murder mystery at its core, there's more to it than that. And obviously I don't want to show you too much or spoil too much. But needless to say, the barn becomes more and more prominent and what it means as the story goes. And we start to see these interesting layouts. And eventually trying to find where we do make our way into the barn without spoiling too much. And things start to go crazy. And again, the use of color in this book. Usually I'm like, I thought it was very muted at first, and I can see that that was absolutely what they were intending to do with it. And so when you have these scenes like this where things just start to break down, I found it very cool. Again, without explaining too much of what's going on, you'll find out if you read it. But this crazy panel layout I love. And so, yeah, there's a couple of characters that are in the book, and their lives and stories do become quite intertwined. Yeah. And I'm just going to zoom along to the very back, where we have a nice selection of early covers and alternate covers, if you're into that kind of thing. And I gotta say, and you can see there's some stuff going on with these covers, and I wasn't really sure if that was what was going to be as prevalent as the story progresses. We've got an early Lemire drawn story in the back that kind of set the tone for Gideon Falls. And yes, while this is a bit of a quick video, I really don't feel it's fair of me to go into too much depth, but needless to say, once the story got rolling, I couldn't stop. And I just chewed my way through this book, which is impressive because you can see it's a good, hefty book. And unfortunately, I have to wait a few months before the big deluxe Volume 2 that wraps up the second half of the series is released in hardcover. And it still mystifies me as to why we get stuff like this coming out, but we have yet to see the Prophet Saga by Brandon Graham in big deluxe hardcover treatment. I'm sorry. That's one that I really wish would get a big, nice collected version, but alas. Very interesting and engaging story. Definitely not a kid-friendly story by any stretch. Let me just preface things with that now. It gets disturbing. And the concepts do get pretty heady and out there at points. I'll say that. And we'll let you decipher that for what you will. But if you do enjoy a good mystery, if you do enjoy a story that goes places that are unexpected and has hints of all sorts of other genres, we'll leave it at that. Definitely give this one a look. We'll put a link down below for Amazon, and hopefully you are going to get as engrossed in it as I am and clamor for more like I currently am as well. So with that said, this has been highlord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.